We crossed the border and found ourselves in Barcelona, Spain. Like in most big cities, first things first, free walking tour. We did ours with Sanderman, which took us through the Gothic Quarter and a little bit more. They covered a lot of Spanish history, which Ronny and I weren't familiar with. It was a bit of an information overload, but still an educational experience. One of the highlights was stopping at this bar and having our first tapas experience. A good tip is to never go out to eat tapas when you're really hungry. It's very easy to order plate after plate and then find yourself with a massive bill at the end. To complement our walking tour, we also opted to get on a bike and see Barcelona with fat tire bike tours. Since Barcelona is such a big city, it was a wise idea to see the sights by bike, instead of only walking or catching trains. The bike tour took us through the Gothic Quarter, which we'd already seen, and then out to this park, which I can't pronounce. While hearing some of the Spanish history, one of our tour members unknowingly had their bike stolen from them. You can't take your hands off your bike for a second. After a short 15-minute break for the tour company to bring out another bike, we were back on the road. We stopped off at the Sagrada Familia and then headed to the beach. Now, before 1992, this beach didn't exist, but in that year, Barcelona was hosting the Summer Olympics and they wanted to overhaul the city and make it more tourist-friendly. So, they called up Egypt and got a bunch of sand dropped in and had Hawaii supply them with all these palm trees. Or so our tour guide tells us. During our tour, we saw a bit of local tension between the citizens and police. At this time, Barcelona was in the lead up to a referendum that would hopefully allow Barcelona its independence. While travelling around the city, we could see flags hanging from buildings, most of them supporting independence. The problem was, Madrid, Spain's capital, didn't recognise this vote. There were politicians being arrested, citizens protesting, and tourists wondering what was going on. It certainly provides some extra excitement and value to our Barcelona experience. Our tour guide was also fantastic, telling us lots of interesting and funny facts about the city. We highly recommend doing one of these. We then returned to Sagrada Familia to head inside and see this spectacular basilica. We picked up an audio guide, which we felt was completely worth it. Ronny and I find it more enjoyable to have an audio guide talk us through what we're seeing, instead of reading lots of text on the walls. Sagrada Familia is a large unfinished Roman Catholic church which was designed by the famous Catalan architect Antoni Gaudi. Construction commenced in 1882 under architect Francisco Paula de Villa, until 1883 when Villa resigned and Gaudi took over. He devoted the remainder of his life to the project, and at the age of 73, he passed away in 1926 with less than a quarter of the project completed. The construction has been interrupted several times, but the construction complete date is set for 2026, 100 years after Gaudi's death. There's still a lot more work to be done, including the middle spire, which represents Jesus Christ, towering over the city at 170 metres. It's currently half that height. The stained glass windows were spectacular, creating a forest environment inside the church. Ronny and I hadn't seen anything like this before and were amazed by how beautiful and unique it looked. Parc Güell was another place on our list to visit. It's a public park made up of gardens and interesting architectural buildings designed by Gaudi. There were mosaic pieces, statues like El Drac here, and stunning views over Barcelona. If you've got the time and want to see something different, make sure you check this place out. And finally, we did a Spanish cooking experience with Travel Bar. We met a local chef who took us to this famous market. There, we picked up fresh ingredients to create our dinner, tapas, and paella. Creating our own tapas was easy and tasty. And then we got stuck into cooking the main dish of the night. Paella is a Valencian rice dish that comes in many different varieties. These include Valencian, vegetarian or vegan, seafood, mixed, and more. Valencian paella is believed to be the original recipe, which included white rice, green beans, chicken and rabbit, white beans, snails, and seasonings such as rosemary and saffron. Today we are cooking seafood paella, and it was a real team effort. Cutting vegetables, preparing the seafood, and then combining it all together in this massive pan. While the paella cooked, we were also shown how to create authentic sangria. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and 3 Spanish seconds of liquor. 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. There's no set recipe for sangria, but it normally includes cheap red wine, soft drink, juice, and some rum or other spirits. Dinner is then ready and it's time to eat. Delicious. Have you been to Barcelona? What did you enjoy about the city? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Until next time, happy adventures.